Should I retheme or replatform my Adobe Commerce website? Well, that's not quite the $1 million question. But if you're watching this video, you may be thinking of your Adobe Commerce Magento 2 website as a 3-headed, 7-footed monster. It's unwieldy, difficult to maintain, well, and it does the trick, puts food on the table, but you keep noticing your search engine ranking slipping. Your competitors are climbing in their stead. Maybe you're trying to get some content on your website. That's slow and cumbersome. Maybe you have even had somebody on your team ask you to update a color on a component across all the content on your website. Good grief, that was a pain. The net result is it works. You're not thrilled. And maybe you're in the situation where you're looking for other options. Shopify looks sexy. BigCommerce maybe has caught your eye. You might have even gone so far as to do a demo. I'm Joseph. I'm a solutions consultant, and president here at SwiftOtter. We work on Adobe Commerce, BigCommerce, and Shopify. I say that because we have a vested interest in helping you maximize revenue and customer happiness no matter what that platform is of these most common platforms. We want to help you be successful. And so in this video, I'm going to share 4 options and present each's pros and cons. However, first, I'd like to direct your attention to this associated article. I've distilled many of these concepts actually into a flowchart to help make your decision just as easy as possible. And better yet, I make the offer to guide you at no cost whatsoever toward the best decision for the future of your platform. Doesn't take that long for us with our experience to be able to figure out what is best for you. Let's jump in. Option number 1 is to fix up your website. Well, your website, like literally everything else in life, collects cobwebs over time, and sometimes a spring cleaning is all that you need. However, if you're cleaning out cobwebs from an old attic, and yeah, I get it, a cleaner attic feels better, but it's not always the right choice. Yeah, maybe unless you're about to do a move, and then you have a extra legitimate reason to do a deep clean, and it's going to make sense. But let me ask you this. Are you using a purchased theme? If you are, clean is going to be almost impossible. However, if your website extends the default Luma theme, you're going to be in a much better place. So cleanup starts with an audit, and in the audit, we prioritize, based off of our experience, the return on investment that you will get with each one of these fixes. We work together to identify what needs to be resolved and its priority, and then it's done. This route has the least investment because it has the lowest barrier to entry. So why not just fix up the website? Just go ahead with this. The ROI typically is the lowest because outdated technology is still used. The law of diminishing returns applies to this approach. The more you spend, the less value you get. Of course, the initial rush is great, but thereafter, it's maybe going to have some challenges. Now, cleanup might be all that it takes to get your website into a good place. And if that's the case, kudos. Very well. Let's move on to option number 2. Option number 2 is Hoova. The first part, who, like roof, or the word who or hoof. It's a great theme. It's basically a theme that you purchased done right. As proof, it's literally 3 times the price of an average theme. But it's become highly successful because it's what a theme is supposed to be. It's fast right out of the box. Literally gets perfect page speed scores on their demo stores with no customizations. Granted, it's up to your dev team to keep that score or, as close to it as possible. It is compatible with the Adobe Commerce B2B suite. And they're even having a new checkout that they're working to get traction on. Hoova is an outstanding option. Now, why not Hoova? Why would we want to go another route? Well, your website's look and feel must be rebuilt on Hoova, and that's going to take some work. Redesigning, though, is often cheaper than implementing from scratch. So if you are good with a more modern website design, Hoova is probably going to be a good fit for you. Now, you could do a identical rebuild, so it looks basically pixel perfect, old site to new site. Well, with Hoova, but that's why do that? And it's an option. It is an option, but the question is, why do it? It's a great time for a redesign. Not a problem. Just something to keep in mind. The other thing is, if you have a lot of modules or custom work, it's going to have to be rebuilt. Now, this is where we could get into significant amount of work that is, you might say, overhead with Whova. It is what it is. It's a great middle ground, great way to proceed. Now, that's not all. Option number 3 is Composable. Yeah, you knew this one was coming. And you might also be thinking about the horror stories about Composable. Well, not to point fingers, but Magento PWA kind of brings out the worst of them. The good news is we are in a different era now. Composable's known, it's mature, and it's ready for prime time. So what does Composable mean? Composable is a design system that allows for the creation of systems by combining smaller components. Smaller components would be your Adobe Commerce platform, e-commerce. Now we're able to bring in a best-in-class content publishing system to the table. For example, Contentful. Shoot, we can even integrate a CRM. Need a product configurator? Got it. What about a new beautiful experience on the category page? Check. And it's lightning fast too. Well, not guaranteed to be that. You need quality developers to know exactly what they're doing. Otherwise, yeah, I have seen Composable websites with horrible page speed scores. So that's not necessarily a guarantee. You need a good set of developers like a shameless plug like us at SwiftOtter. We know what we're doing in this department, and we'd be happy to talk with you. Now, so this is also in the same category as Whova, where you need to be open to a redesign, a modernization project. If the technology is modernizing, well, why not the design too? Even if it's some subtle refinements. Composable is an investment that will allow you to stick with your current platform for, honestly, I'd say 5 years or more. You won't have to change integrations or retrain your e-com team by going with this approach. Just the visitor experience changes. Now, why not Composable? It's going to require much more investment than Whova. I mean, it's all relative, but there is more work to do when going Composable than going Whova. It just depends on what level of effort or how much is actually being done. The other thing is installing modules isn't just this click of a button. It may or may not be that with Whova, but there is more work to integrate these different components. Now, we have gone into a significant amount of detail here in a book, literally a book that we have written about Composable. I invite you to go download this. There's a QR code. Link will be in the description below. So we'd be happy to help you understand the pros, the cons of Composable, and to see if it is the right platform for you. Now, you might be thinking, Replatform, like this is what you're going to be spending the whole time talking about, right? No. Replatforming is a lot of work. Don't get me wrong, like we at SwiftOtter are happy to do this. We're experienced. We know how to do this, kind of like the back of our hand. It's just part of what we do. However, here is the point. Let's chat. It may be best to stay on your current platform with some modifications, adjustments, and modernization. With the right platform, you may be super happy on Adobe without the expense of a move. Or maybe it's just that you're fed up. You're ready to be done with Magento. And yeah, I've seen and heard plenty of those stories as well. The first step in the replatforming process is to understand the requirements. This often leads with investigating your current website to maybe identify the current state. Then we work through and see what is no longer necessary and maybe spec out some new features that are going to be critical for launch, but we try to hold those back as much as possible. The net result is a website that's finely tuned to your needs. And yes, we'd be more than happy to help you pick out the best platform that is best suited for your needs now and achieves your goals here in the future. If this sounded like a lot, it is. If you're ready to budget for a significant change, we'd be happy to chat. Whether it's a small glow up or if it's a massive overhaul of your project, we can help you achieve the best success here as you proceed forward. We have a broad experience, and we would be happy to take the time to help put these puzzle pieces together in a way that's going to make sense for you on your website, and what will help you achieve the goals and make you look outstanding in your company. So don't forget to go to our website, link in the description below. The article has a lot more information than what I can cover here in this short video. I look forward to hearing from you. Take care.